And go.
Hello, and welcome to Morons at First Sight, the unofficial, official Married at First Sight recap podcast, where we go over the ins and outs of the morons at Married at First Sight. To take you down this journey, I'm Ricky.
I'm Ari.
And welcome to Morons at First Sight, where today we are talking Season 7, Episode 13 of Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
That sound like, what's the word for, like, eccentric enough? No.
It was good.
Good?
Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Here we go. Let's break into it. This is the episode that I've finally been waiting for.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of fucking was, there's like ships crashing, like balloons going up in the air. I don't know. It's just, it had so much to it. And
Yeah, it definitely had kind of the drama you've been wanting, but this episode was so long.
it was an hour.
Yeah. Are they always an hour?
No.
No, right?
They're usually 40. I think it's because it's the decision week's right around the corner.
That's true.
And they had a lot of juicy drama that they had to just
Drum.
pump it in.
Drama. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a lot of dram. So let's get into it. Who do you want to start with?
Do you want to say the best for last or the best or the last for best?
I definitely last for best. You pick, because I always pick. So you pick who we go with first.
Okay, let's start off with usually people. I think we usually start off with them anyways. But a couple that kind of took a 180 this episode.
Damber and Ave?
Damn.
Oh,
You bet. Good old Damber and Ave.
Damber, Amber, and Dave. Yeah.
Amber and Dave.
I liked them this episode. I can't with this hair right now. Okay. I liked them this episode.
They actually, the entire time I was like, they could make it.
I think they are. And, I came to the conclusion of why.
Why's that?
Okay. I think that basically we kept being like, Amber's so insecure. Like, Dave is kind of a dick, blah, blah, right? Well, I think that they were just kind of honest about the things they were feeling when they were feeling them. And they were just real about it, like, right then and there. So they're, if you notice, the other two couples seem like they have some resentment brewing a little bit, some things building up. Mm-hmm. Amber and Dave don't have, nothing's building up because they just they get it all out as soon as they feel it together. And they do like have issues, but they actually sit down and talk about it with each other and they actually go through it and they get over it in that moment.
It was, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it was just like normal.
They're just healthy right now, and I think that's good.
Like she came to the like you said, she accepted her insecurities. Dave's like, all right, now I know how to work with her and with myself, and then they're like, we're gonna be the power couple this week. Right,
like hindsight is 20/20, but looking back, all those times I was like, Amber, get it together. Honestly, the fact that she was just real about who she was, I can appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Because she could have, like kept that stuff a secret and just been like, does Dave want to fuck my friend? And like just secretly thought that for like weeks. And then one day, like he would have like, I don't know, she would have stubbed her toe and then just like, fuck you to him. You know what I mean? So I think it's good that they.
I mean, we all know stubbing of a toe is when really things come out in general. Like all our deepest desires and all our insecurities all come out when we stub our toes.
You ever just stub your toe and end your relationship?
Not anymore.
If you're listening at home, it's because you can't feel his toes.
Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Just stub your toe. Oh, my toe. Fuck, I hate your mother.
Yeah. Oh, my toe. I cheated on you 3 years ago. Oh, my God. Okay.
The only note I have on them was planting plants.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
Yeah, that was like a couple-y thing to do. I was like,
yeah.
All right, cool.
It was cute.
And then they talked about their traditions, and that was it.
I wrote that planting, and then I wrote another thing is that during the whatever those like games were that they did, like I don't know what to fucking call that. It was like, what's that thing that you used to do during school? Field day. They're
Yeah.
like couples field day or whatever.
That's what they called it. I almost said morons. The Married at First Sight Field Day Challenge.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So, or I guess it was in my brain. Anyway, field day challenge. So they did good on that. Like they came together, and I thought it was funny that both girls felt the referee's face and like thought that it might be their husband, and he wasn't even like playing.
That was like the one ref's like highlight of his life. Just like, oh.
Yeah. Well, to me, like one of the guys has a beard and one doesn't. I don't know how, if you're blindfolded and you're feeling for like your dude's face, and he has a beard, you would feel a bald face and be like, oh, that's him.
But the girls also didn't know that there was 3 people sitting down there instead of 2.
But there's no excuse for Amber because Dave's the only one with a beard.
Right.
I was like, what? You know, and he's the only one who was tall. Like all the other guys were short.
How are you gonna?
So
but how are you gonna judge tall off of them sitting down?
You can tell.
How?
Dave was above all of them.
Uh-huh.
She should know. Like she probably sits on his fucking lap and shit. She should know where his head sits.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm in Amber's defense for this one, dude. There's no way you can tell how tall someone is just from them sitting down.
Yes, you can. If you blindfolded me and I had to pick out the person that I'm dating out of a lineup, I'm even going to say out of 5 guys, I bet I could.
I don't think you could.
I guarantee you I
No,
could.
bullshit. You could not.
And I would know how tall they were. Yes, I could.
No, I don't believe you on this one.
Well, what makes you say that?
Because look at us right now. We're both sitting at about the same height.
No, we're not. I'm way shorter than you.
I know you're shorter, but look at the camera. Like, we are both at eye level right now. There's no one would be able to tell that there's like a foot difference between us right now.
I could tell by the height. I would run my hand on the heads and I would know.
What if someone's slouching?
Well, I would know if the person I date slouches or not. I would know that about them. You know?
You would know that
I'd be like, oh, he's slouching.
You just really want to win this, don't you?
I know I could do it, Ricky.
I don't think you could. And I want to put this to the test one day. We're going to have a live podcast episode when Sean is here. And you're going to have to pick him out through a group of 5 people.
I could do it.
But no.
Yes. No, I could.
All right.
I know it.
We'll agree to disagree.
I'd be like, 5'7.5", 5'8". I would know. I could do it.
I'd find a way to trip you up. No, actually, no, I wouldn't. I'd give you a fair
Yeah.
odd because I don't believe that you can tell a height from someone sitting.
I could do it. I would know. I'd know by the posture, too.
But does someone have a posture like
Yes.
the same posture at 100% of the time, all the time?
Mostly. Yeah. I would know based on that. I would know.
The only reason you would win by this point now is because you're prepared with all these like
No,
details.
it's because it'll never happen, but I know I could win.
I couldn't. I don't believe in myself at all. I'd be like, nope, I have no idea.
Know. I would totally know.
I'd have
And
to-
by the head shape, I'd know.
No.
Yes, I
No.
would.
No.
If you
I don't-
blindfolded me and I just had to feel head shapes, I would know. For sure.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I feel I would.
Skulls are remarkably similar, unless someone's got like a super tiny head and then like a gargantuan, like a Homo erectus type of skull.
I feel I would know.
I'd have to like touch their teeth or something.
Okay. What? So, I'm sorry. You would know by touching their teeth.
No, I just wanted to say something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That's fucking bullshit, Ricky. Oh my God. Okay, anyway, moving on, because we could stay on that subject all day. Okay.
Really good.
But, you know, I thought that was funny that they both, like, were feeling the referee. I was like, he's not even playing.
Which, by the way, is it just me or does that ref look like they just picked him up from some like hippie commune? And this was like his one day like back in society, just like
I was like, where did he come from?
because he was like super chill and like ponytail stuff. He's like, all right, dudes, it's time
And he had
for
like
the
a little
field
bit
day
of an
challenge.
accent.
Yeah.
He's like, to Camber, like, you get him next to him.
He called her no, he said Camber.
Camber. What?
You said Camber.
No. Nah.
You keep butchering Amber's name. First it's Damber, now it's Camber.
Listen, can't be expected to be perfect all the time. Fucking vocabulary here.
Another thing I did find funny, though, is like, when they were doing a tug of war, Dave had already let go, and so had Danielle. And Amber just pulls Bobby by the rope for like another 3 feet.
I know. Amber fucking just like served him some fucking lunch, dude, with that. She was just like, psh. I was proud of her.
Just straight up like yanked Bobby over. It's like, yeah, you're mine now.
I know. I like that. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to say that Amber, during the games, her skin looks so good. I just have to say that.
Oh, cool.
Like, there's a moment in the interview where she was talking, her eyes just looked like so green, and she just looks so pretty. And I was like, see what happens when you're like happy. You know what I mean? Like, it's all coming together.
You mean that's why my skin looks like shit?
Yeah, that's why you and I look like fucking pizza faces. Just kidding.
Wallowing in our self-pity and depression. If only my skin looked good. Just be happy.
It's a vicious cycle. Okay, do you want to talk about Danielle and Bobby now?
I do want to talk about Danielle and Bobby. Because they're slowly falling off that high horse of theirs.
Yes.
Like, last episode we talked how she left the letter. And I said something, I bet you she says I love you in the letter. Nope. Doesn't say I love you in the letter.
Remember? And I was like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
So no, she doesn't.
You're right.
Well, I think it would also honestly be really shitty to tell someone that you love them in a letter when you could have said it to their face. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I do, but at the same time, aren't love letters called love letters for the sake of telling someone I love you in a letter?
Yeah, but like after you say it in person, I think, because the reason I feel that way about this scenario or situation is because he was like, I love you in bed, looking at her all romantically. Like, that's the time to like, love you too, and then bang. You know what I'm saying? Not to be like, great. And then like a day later, leave it in a letter when you're not in town.
Right.
Like, that sucks. So, but you know what sucks worse than that? Never saying I love you to the person ever, which is what she did.
In multiple instances.
He needs to stop saying I love you to her, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Stop.
I like how
Like,
they were FaceTiming, and at the very end, he's like, bye, I love you. And she didn't say shit. But also, I realized he hung up way too early for her to give her a time to respond because he knew she wasn't going to say it anyways, and he didn't want to face the reality. So he's like, I love you, bye.
So again, stop saying it. And number two, that would have been a really shitty time for her to tell him I love you on FaceTime when she's out of town. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because if someone says I love you for the first time, you want to be like, me too.
you need to be together. Yeah, you need to be like me too, so you can like make out and shit, right? Like, so you can be connected, not to just be like, hey, like, now we're on FaceTime a week later, and you expressed your love to me. I love ya. And then just like hang up. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because then you're just kind of sitting there awkwardly like, wish we were making out.
Yeah, wish we could feel a connection. Bye, click. Like, but again, okay, she doesn't love him, you know? So that's fine. I don't know. I have a couple feelings about that. Like, she's not saying I love you back. That sucks. But I really think he should have waited to say I love you too. Because he said it after like a month. Like,
sometimes when you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah, but you feel something and then you can sit on it for a sec. You know what I'm saying?
Like a butt plug. I know
Just
exactly what you're saying. I read you loud and clear.
Exactly.
Love is like sitting on a butt plug.
Love's like a butt plug. Just sit on it until the other person wants to be involved.
And then they can sit on it too.
Right. Exactly. And then they can put it in.
Yes.
Yeah. You know? So, I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah, it's hard to be like, oh, Bobby never should have expressed his feelings. But like, I don't know. When you love someone, like you love them, but you can just wait to say it. This is my...
I mean, after he said it, he should be waiting. But then at the same time, he did read that heartfelt note, which I can understand why he'd want to say it. But on the over FaceTime, you probably should have just let her say it.
Yeah, he needs to stop. To me, like if you say you love someone and they don't reciprocate it, maybe just don't say it again. I think they can be the one to come to you and be like, "Hey, I love you." Balls in their court. It's just like if you ask someone to marry you and they say no and you keep dating them, don't
ask them again and again.
Yeah, maybe just wait till you're definitely positive they're gonna say yeah. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. So anyway, it's definitely obviously causing issues that she hasn't said "I love you" back. That obviously would break anyone's heart.
But another thing about Bobby is, when she was gone, he went to lunch with his friend.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because the friend, he'd been married for 5 years, I think he said. And he's like trying to tell him, he's like, oh yeah, you're going to come across this and that, trying to give him some holy advice. And Bobby's like, yeah, I got this, communications. As long as we keep doing whatever, and just keep communicating the way we were and things. And the guy's like, so you in love with her? He's like, oh yeah. And then it cuts to his friend. He's just like, silently and staringly judging him.
Yeah.
And you can feel it through the TV. He's just like, this fucking idiot thinks he knows everything about marriage when he didn't even date a girl, just went straight to marriage on a reality TV
right.
show. He didn't say any of that, but you could see it in his eyes, and it festered, and I saw it, and I laughed, and I laughed.
And I laughed, and I laughed, like laughing more, and I laughed some more, though, because it turns out I could keep laughing, and I still am laughing.
You could tell. Yeah. You could tell where he's just like, he wanted to say, fuck you, dude. You've been married for a month.
Right. And probably have not really had a serious relationship prior to the show, so.
Well, we can't neither confirm or deny, but yes.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that, yeah. Another thing for him to be like, no, our communication is like on point. And then it's like, okay, well, your wife
doesn't say I love you.
Yeah, and you haven't said anything about it. And then she wrote you a letter saying she appreciates you. That's not like the best communication. I'm not saying it's bad. At least they're trying, to figure out what works for them, but it's not good. So.
By the way, I love how in the field day exercise, Dave mentions like, guess our perfect 10 couple is not such a perfect couple.
I love that
and
too.
And he just said everything everyone was thinking. And I was like,
yes, I love that too. Mm-hmm. I love that too. But there's not a lot to say about it's fucking iPhone, dude. About Danielle and Bobby, because it's the same shit. They're both just secret. They're just both like, we're perfect. But they won't like verbalize anything.
Mm-hmm. But I will also say there's a part where they're talking about their goals. They're writing out their short-term and long-term goals.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, what are your short-term goals? And then he was like, retire by 75. And I was like, okay, first of all, that's a long-term goal. And second
of all, why aren't you retiring in your 60s?
Okay, and so then third of all,
sorry.
Why aren't you guys talking about this on a bike?
Yeah, everything. Why didn't he tell her he loves her on a bike?
Yeah.
That's where all their serious conversations are supposed to happen. Like, I love you. And then she can be like, what? And just like drive off. What's great? Like, that's what should happen. Yeah.
Maybe she would have said I love you if he'd said it on a bike.
We'll never know.
I guess not. Any final thoughts on Danielle and Bobby?
I have I'm sorry. Oh my God. I have some shit to talk about Danielle, but it can't be spoken about until we go through me and Tristan.
And Tristan.
Yay! Yep.
Okay, so do you want to recap it? You look like you want to recap it.
I'm dying to.
Tell us what happened.
It all started with health insurance. So let me just say that if we had health insurance in this country as a right, me and Tristan might still be okay. They might not be on the rocks, okay? If this were Canada, we would be okay.
Or Finland.
Yep, or Switzerland, but it's not. So me and Tristan
are on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Thanks, government.
Right. Thanks, Chin. But in all seriousness, yeah, I guess it all started because Tristan, got rid of his health insurance plan, apparently without telling her, because they had discussed him moving on to hers. And then she just was lazy about it or whatever, and their communication's fucking horrible. So he just canceled it and then got mad at her because she didn't add him onto hers. And it all turned into her being like, I don't know if I can move to Houston if you're going to act like this. And then he packed her shit up and kicked her out.
Neither of those two want to be together at all. Deep down.
So guess what? Don't.
Consciously, I can tell they want to just because, like, I don't want to be alone and I'm on a show.
Because they're lonely also.
Yeah, subconsciously, they're like, dumb.
Well, they know it's not going to work with the other person. And they know that that's probably not, a right fit for them. And they're one of the right people for them.
Which, by the way, during the whole insurance talk, I was thinking Mia was bummed that Tristan didn't tell her about any of this and stuff. And I was like, what instance have we had with Mia and Tristan where Mia withheld information from Tristan?
From Tristan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she was...
Spoiler, go back through our episodes.
Right.
A lot.
Mia was arrested. No, I agree. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, if you're obviously discussing with your partner combining your insurance and blah, blah, like, that's a discussion to have. But I don't know. To me, it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah, hop on my insurance. We're married. Great. Fucking done deal, dude. But him to cancel it and then be mad, it just seems like dumb miscommunications. And like, I don't really know. She was like, I'm not saying any of this is justified, but when she was like, that's something you should have told me and blah, blah. It's like, well, it sounds like you guys agreed to that. You just didn't agree on a date. So now you know that your husband has no fucking health insurance.
Get on it.
Yeah, God forbid something happened to him. Just add him on your fucking plan tomorrow. Like... I don't understand, like, what's so hard about that,
She's looking for an excuse for a fight because she knows how Tristan's going to react in a fight. So
that she can sabotage, basically, and get out of it. Mm-hmm. She's like, we should have discussed, like, financially what this means. And it's like, yeah, you probably pay whatever amount a month for your insurance, and you have to add, like, $30 to $50 to that. Like, a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, and he can fucking pay that. Okay? Because he was paying for his own fucking health insurance. So, boom. Like, done.
Yeah, health insurance just seems like a weird thing to fight over.
Yeah, wouldn't you want your husband to have health insurance? Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't you want your significant other to fucking be insured? Why is that a fight?
Because probably being on someone's insurance plan to Mia is more of a commitment than marriage is.
Yeah, because she'll have to kick him off and all that. So when she's talking about the finances, it's like, no, it's cheaper to combine. Everybody knows that. Like, it's cheaper to just be on the other person's. Or everybody who's married would have their own fucking, you know what I mean, health insurance. Like, What are you fucking talking about? So, and he owns his own business. So he probably had kind of shitty health insurance that was kind of expensive.
That's a good point.
And that's why he's like, no, just let me get on yours. And that's why she's like, I don't know. And it's like, okay, if you have good health insurance, let him on. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that was a fight is just so odd to me. Like, when she was like, well, we should have talked about this. I would just be like, oh, fuck, you don't have insurance? I'll call tomorrow. Why is it turning into a thing where you're getting kicked out? Anyway.
All right. So one thing I want to add. So what happened, obviously, if someone didn't watch the episode and they're watching us, like, again, why? I mean, I'm not questioning why you're watching us.
Yeah, by the way, why? But thank you so much.
Yeah. God damn, you made me lose my train of thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, so yeah, they got on the argument. He started packing up her shit, throwing it all in the hallway and stuff.
Yep.
And of course the camera was there. But one of the things that made me laugh my ass off is Mia was grabbing the Keurig.
I didn't.
They like made it a point to show that she was like, I'm taking the Keurig.
I didn't. Dude, you see the funniest stuff. I love it.
I watch with the weird observational.
I love that. That's so funny. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she fucking grabbed the Keurig. That was like the one thing they made sure that they showed her grab. Like Tristan got all her bags out of there. She's like, oh, he can handle that. I gotta get the Keurig.
Yeah. He can handle that. He can pack my clothes. I'm getting the Keurig.
I'm not fucking letting him handle the Keurig. He might drop that shit.
Or not give it to her.
That's true.
Bitch needs her coffee, dude. I love that. That's fucking really funny. I didn't notice that. I did, however, notice that one of the items he had thrown out in the hallway was that giant Texas
wooden
that
thing.
he hated.
He hated that from the very beginning, didn't he?
It was 2 suitcases and that. Like, as if she needs that on her, you know what I mean? Like, if they're spending a night apart, she needs that giant Texas. So fucking petty, dude. She
Like,
sat there with the Keurig.
Imagine like an on-camera interview after everything had happened. She's got the Keurig under one arm and the Texas thing
And
under the
the
other.
Texas under another.
I'm glad I got these out of there before it got way too heated.
And she's like, I knew I could never trust him. You know what? When you didn't like this sign right here, okay? I knew. And this sign represents me and my heritage. Now I'm going to go plug this Keurig in.
Have myself a delicious cup of coffee.
Within a matter of seconds. Okay? No, I love that. But I noticed the Texas thing. Mm-hmm. A couple of things about that, obviously, are...
Do tell.
Mine are, like, kind of emotional things. Like, I'm like... I guess I'm just thinking, like, when they were talking to Pastor Dan or whatever... Is that his name?
Pastor Ken.
It's not Ken.
It starts with a K because I paid attention this time. I was like... Because I kept calling him Pastor Dave.
Yeah, he is.
No, it's not Pastor Dave. It's Pastor Ken or...
It's not Ken.
Google it right now.
Okay.
We're doing this on camera.
Okay.
It starts with a K.
Let me close out my porn. Pastor on Married at First Sight. Is this supposed to be porn?
Yes.
Calvin. It's a C.
Okay, C-K. They make the same noise.
No, you're good. You should have known because you like Calvin and Hobbes. You should have made that connection.
How dare you bring them into this? This was a civil argument, for God's sakes.
Okay, so Pastor Craig?
Calvin. You already forgot? Craig isn't even near that.
Dude.
This is why you wouldn't be able to tell someone's height from sitting down.
No, that's not.
Yes, no.
Don't bring that back around, dude.
Oh, I'm doing it. We're going full
Okay,
circle.
but I know people's names who are real.
Pastor.
What is it? Hey, what is it, Ricky? The fuck is his name?
Now you have Pastor Craig stuck in my head.
Is it Ken?
Pastor Calvin.
Calvin. You only remembered it because the Calvin and Hobbes reference I fucking gave to you.
Yeah?
That shit's in there.
Yeah?
You're welcome. You'll never forget it now.
Thank you.
I did that for you. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. Okay. So, Pastor Calvin. So, that guy sat down with them. And I have
Threw
a lot
some
of
major truths at him.
Well, I just feel like, honestly, the fact that he's still encouraging them to be together proves that he's a fucking phony.
Oh, it's like they have a money pool between the therapists.
Yeah, and he wants them to win. And that's the thing is that he's so, like, to me, what's his name? Tristan is so manipulative and abusive to be like, when he's like, I feel like I'm not what's best for you, and he leaves. Like, oh, great. Now it has to be all about Tristan. He fucking kicked me out. And I'm sorry, but escalated that fight to a point of no return. Like, you can't be with someone when they pack your stuff and put it outside of your house. Like, that's a point of no return. You can never be with them again. Like,
And
that's
then
just what it do.
Back.
She goes back. And Pastor
For the
Calvin is
show.
like, I think that, like, you know, you guys should work this out. And when Tristan's like, I just can't be the man you need me to be, you know. And then he comes back and is like, oh, you know what? And this is the most abusive thing he did. I know you know what it is.
I never knew how to love.
Yeah, I just love you so much that I get heated during arguments and kick you out of the house. Well, that's not a love anybody wants to be a part of. Like,
How much does your husband love you? Oh my God, you don't even know. Like one time
Right.
we got in this little argument over the laundry, and he kicked me out of the house.
and he kicked me out, and he just said it's because he feels so passionately and so deeply for me. He didn't know how to handle it. Like, that's fucking psycho.
Those two are not gonna make it.
Well,
You know how I know, by the way?
What?
Because you know when they go to the interviews where like the person's narrating how their day was, like, oh, I felt like this and that day. Her hair color is different at the bottom.
It's pink on the bottom.
It's pink.
It's rose gold. Yeah.
So she did the whole like, I need a change after this breakup and dyed her hair.
And dyed her hair rose gold on the tips.
And didn't realize that she was going to have to come back for on-camera interviews to explain every action stuff.
Right.
And you can see when she talks about the relationship, she's like dead-eyed. Like,
you can see, yeah, she's not like into it.
I love him so much at this point.
It's just crazy. He sucks, honestly.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. So that happened. And then another thing about that I'll bring up is her telling Danielle about it. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about that?
I actually, I don't know where you're taking that part.
Danielle was talking shit.
Yeah, they all were talking shit, though.
Nuh-uh. Amber was like, I feel so bad for her. You know, it makes me appreciate my husband more. Normal response. Mm-hmm. Dave was like, wow, that's crazy to go through. You know, that might be a point of no return. We have to see how that goes. Which I believe Dave would say to Tristan's face. Mm-hmm. Personally. He would be like, I don't know, dude, that's not okay.
Dave actually had some good advice. He's like, why don't you just stay at a friend's house? I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot more sense.
Or don't, because you're married. Like, I'm sorry, but when you're married, like, you don't get in an argument and go sleep somewhere else. No, you fucking chose to be married. Get your ass in the bed and go the fuck to sleep, and then you can talk about it tomorrow if you can't handle it right now. But you're still a fucking partnership and a unity. You don't fucking just get to ditch out on that. Like, that's the difference between being married and being boyfriend, girlfriend. You don't get to just, like, dip on that sometimes. You know, like, this is overwhelming. Well, guess what? Till death do you part, motherfucker. So you chose it. It just makes me mad. Right. Tristan is so dysfunctional. It just makes me, like...
Remember at first how much, like, you liked him?
I know.
In the first couple episodes, you're like, Tristan's my boy. He's so sweet. Yeah, I was
like, let's do it. Well, because he was sticking with her, you know, through the stuff. I was like, that's so nice. He was doing what I think you should do, which is stick through with your partner and support them. You know what I mean? You got it? Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, what's her name? What's that girl's name? Danielle. She was talking. Who are these people? She was talking shit. She was like, this is the craziest thing to me. She's like, yeah, like, Mia got kicked out. Their marriage might end. So they're obviously going through something horrible. She's like, and it just sucks that for these games, they bailed on us.
Yes. Okay, I do remember that part.
Their lives are falling apart.
Yeah, the editors managed to squeeze that one in right before they cut it off. Just right. Like, sneaky.
She's kind of a bitch. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Hey, stay in your lane.
Like... Okay, if I were in Danielle's shoes, I'd be like, fuck, that sucks. I really wanted the three couples to be here. And I'd probably say, like, they bailed on us as a joke or something, but probably not in front of the camera.
I would just be like, that's awful. Their lives are falling apart. They did this experiment. They look like fools, okay? That's fucking embarrassing and awful. And I would say it to Mia's face on the phone when she told me. I'd be like, well, you look like a fool, and that sucks. But I'm here to support.
Well, do we have a surprise for you, Ariana? Because for today's special Morons at First Sight episode extravaganza.
Bring in Mia.
Yeah, we have her on the phone right now.
On the phone. Hey, Mia, listen, you look like a fool. I mean, no offense, but you do, you know? Because here's the thing, too. She's putting their relationship on blast and then going back with him. That's the embarrassing part is like, you know, you have troubles with your partner. You don't air your fucking dirty laundry to other people. I get that they're on TV, so it's being aired on TV, so it's kind of like, eh. But at least, like, I don't know, to, like, call Danielle and be telling her about it, it's just not a good look because you saw in the next episode, she has to sit with those girls and explain to them now, like, well, I'm going to stay with them. And then they fucking hate him now. But she's choosing to stay, so it's like, well, you gotta keep that shit under wraps to a certain extent if you're gonna keep being with the person.
Okay, but devil's advocate here on this play. Mm-hmm. In Mia's defense, Danielle and Amber, I mean, I don't know why she didn't call Amber either, probably because her and Amber don't get along or something. I don't know. Point is...
Or Danielle probably called her for the games.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys coming? You know?
Or, okay, I didn't even think about that. Okay, you totally just flip-flopped my entire argument right there.
That's what I'm assuming happened. And she was like, hey, are you coming?
Okay, well,
she's like, no,
okay.
I got kicked out.
Let me get it off my chest anyways. Yeah, what I was going to say is like, let's say this, Mia and the thing between Mia and Tristan happened, and you need to vent and get it off your chest because you're emotionally just kind of like, fuck right now, you know? Like, wouldn't you want to talk to someone who knows kind of what you're going through, who can relate by going through the same experience? Like, because Danielle's going through the same thing with hers. Like, we're in an experiment of, relationship stuff. I'd probably like call one of them too, be like, hey, you know what I'm going through. I'm not exactly, but we're in the same situation of being married at first sight. This is what happened. I feel like shit, blah, blah, blah.
I think that you can share things with them, like, I'm, you know what I'm going through because I'm really worried, or like, I don't know, what's going to happen, like kind of general things. But I think that, a lot of stuff you go through in your relationship. So you have to learn like the difference between, I guess, venting and like saying too much, because you still have somewhat of a loyalty to your partner if you're choosing to be with them, right? Like you have a loyalty to not make them look like shit to people, because you get upset about stuff, but if you know you're going to get over it, the people in your life will not. And I think we've talked about this on here before. Like, they're not going to get over it. Like if you're dating someone and she like called you a little bitch one time and like yelled at you, right? And you, I'm sorry, let's just say, and you were upset.
Bring up the past.
And you were upset about it. Like, that's not okay. So, that's not nice. That wouldn't make you feel good. If you choose to still be with that person and you vent about it, that's another red flag. If you feel like you have to emotionally unload on a bunch of people about your relationship, it's probably not healthy. Anyway, you should probably get out of it, because in a healthy relationship, you work through your problems with your partner, right? Not through talking to other people. But besides that, if you told me like, yeah, me and what's her name got into a fight and she called me a little bitch, but I forgave her and we banged and it's all good. Forever in my head, I'd be like, okay, she called someone I love a little bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I would just kind of be like, well, I don't think she's a good person secretly, and I can't get over that personally. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think, if she's, it's just obviously an unhealthy situation, and she's obviously crying out for help to people, like for advice, and because she's sad and feels alone, and so she should just fucking dip out on that shit. But if you're going to stay with somebody, I think you should not air your dirty laundry like that. It's just not a good look, because then what? They're going to be around those people again. And everybody knows your shit.
That's a good point.
It's somewhat of a betrayal of the relationship to me to do that.
Yeah. I was just thinking of more of the lines of like having like relatability, like I was saying before, is having something to relate to and vent to. But I guess it all depends to what degree of information you share and how you share it. Because there's a way to share that information without making the other person look like crap.
Yeah, that's another thing. But if there's information you can't share without making that person look like total crap, you need to reevaluate that person. Because I have girlfriends who are in relationships and they vented to me, and it's never sounded like where I'm like, oh, your boyfriend's horrible, and I'm not secretly mad about their boyfriends or judging them at all, It's just for us to talk a little bit, that's normal, because it's like normal problems, and they aren't talking shit on their boyfriends also. It's a difference. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she blasted her dirty laundry, and it comes up in the next episode. The girls are like, Danielle's like, he doesn't care about you. You know what I mean?
It's true. But I guess we'll get into that a little later.
Okay.
But actually, I don't know. You've said it all out now. Well, I was going to say...
Yeah, get into it right now. Why
in
not?
the pre-cap that fucking Tristan leaves her again.
No, Mia leaves Tristan.
Well, okay. Yes, Mia leaves Tristan.
Yeah, apparently, right?
But the train doesn't end.
I didn't really understand what was happening with that.
I don't know. That's why it's going to be... That's why I was in the pre-cap. We will find out next week.
It looks like they went on a trip. And then, he woke up one morning and she was gone.
Well,
or something.
It said they were doing their own little honeymoon in Austin, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Because they never got a honeymoon because Mia got arrested. Mm. And I guess that leads to something. And it's going to lead to Tristan yelling, I don't trust you.
Mia said she wanted a divorce in the pre-cap.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah, she told Tristan she wants a divorce.
Couldn't even wait a week.
I know, which, by the way, it's an annulment. I'm just saying.
Is it? I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's 6 weeks. It's a fucking annulment. It's not a divorce. I'm pretty
But
sure.
they have to sell the drama somehow by calling it a divorce.
Yeah. Either that or like the law in Texas is like 4 weeks or something. So like purposely push it over the edge so these people have to get a divorce. I don't know, but that would be horrible. I think the reason it's set up at 6 weeks is so they can actually annul and get out of it okay. Because imagine a show where like people have to like divide their assets. Like that would be horrible.
Do you think they make them sign a prenup?
100% they do. If you think Dave didn't sign a fucking prenup when he owns his own like fucking house and shit,
Yeah.
come on.
I
And then Tristan, he owns a business. Like she could fucking take half of that. He could take her retirement because I doubt he has like a 401k set up if he barely has health insurance. So
that just needs to be a whole new show in general. Married at First Sight, The Dark Hours.
Married at First Sight, divorce. Like divorce at second sight.
And the narration is like, we coaxed these couples to marry and didn't have them sign a prenuptial agreement.
Right.
So we can watch them go through the entire divorce process. Week 1, they're dividing the china. Week 2, dividing their assets.
Yeah. Week 2, someone just found out they can tap into someone else's retirement. Like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like that's week 3. Like, Mia found out that that apartment became marital property, even though it was in Tristan's name. Like, turns out he kicked her out of her own house.
All right, Lifetime, if you're listening, we have a show for you.
Yeah, that's how I know it's annulment because, I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
We just did imagine.
You would love it, but oh, we did back there. That's
Yeah,
what we were doing.
Just right back there.
Yeah, I remember that. Love that.
That was great.
Good times. Mm-hmm. All right, what else?
I think that's all I have to say on the couples.
Yeah,
think-
pre-cup looks like everybody else doing okay.
Yeah. So let's get down to our huge.
Well, do you think Danielle's going to tell Bobby she loves him? I want to know that.
Hard to say, but I'm going to say no.
Next episode, you don't think so?
No.
I think she is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Let's remember this. Let's mark it. And then
Okay.
next episode, we'll see
who's
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Loser owes the other person a cookie.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Shake on it.
I can't read. All right.
God damn it.
off
You had a
camera.
spasm.
After camera.
Okay.
Yes, sucker. I just got out of the deal. There wasn't a shake. Okay.
There wasn't a shake. Can I
mean-
get some fries with that shake?
I mean, technically, I did shake on it.
You were shaking. Mm-hmm. That's true.
Okay. So, based on this week, who is going to last?
Yeah. I mean, the two that we always say, Amber and Dave, Danielle and Bobby.
Yep, but you chose 2 couples. You got to choose one.
Oh, Amber and Dave.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with, too. They seem more like, based on this week, they seem more likely to last than everyone else.
They seem more, I guess, normal. Like, they've gone through kind of normal stuff of like, oh, we're figuring each other out. Blah.
And they're having fun shitting on another couple, too.
Yeah, which is always like...
Like when they're hanging up that trophy, he's like, should we do hashtag suck it?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what couples do.
Yeah.
They shit on other people and boast themselves up.
That's when you know you're close. When you can be like, well, look at them.
And I was like, bravo, Dave and Amber.
Bravo.
Top moron of the week.
You go first.
Tristan.
Yeah, it's a good one. Why?
Because he kicked Mia out over stupid things and he was dumb enough not to keep his hands on the Keurig before she took it.
Yeah, mine's going to be Mia. Because she went back with someone and kicked her out. So probably don't do that.
Yeah, I think we got some good morons there.
Yeah, some pretty good morons. Pretty good. So before we go, I have one question.
Shoot.
Do you accept in your heart that I could pick someone out
No.
in a lineup
No.
based on their height,
No.
and head shape
No.
and posture.
No.
Ricky.
Absolutely not. I don't think you... Do I think you have the capacity to do it? A little bit. Do I think you
Boom.
would?
Thank you for listening. Hey, you can find us anywhere podcasts are fucking, doing it, which is Spotify, okay? And what else? Apple, okay? Do you still call it that? iTunes. I think that's done. Anyway, Google Play, right? berpod.com. And Ricky you heard it here first, folks. He thinks I could do it. So thank you so much.
What can I say? Can't argue with the results. Have a good one, folks. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.